Court extends restriction of protest in Lagos to 2 designated venues. On the foreign scene, Democratic nominee in U.S. presidential election, Kamala Harris picks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as running mate. We'll bring you details in a moment. Please stay with us. Many thanks for joining us. I am Bukola Taylor Cole. The federal government is set to partner with the U.S.-based International Cotton Advisory Committee, ICAC, to revamp the nation's cotton and textile industry. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma disclosed this at the end of a meeting between Nigeria's Cotton Consultative Committee and a delegation from the ICAC, hosted by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. It said the move will help create jobs for Nigerian youths.
The whole idea is to leverage on this opportunity to revamp the industries in Nigeria, which many of them are now moribund, particularly in the cotton and textile sector. And this is a new opportunity that is creating a new partnership for us to cross-pollinate ideas with the experts to bring new skills, new ideas, and new and fresh innovations.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who also attended the meeting, highlights the benefits of the value chain of cotton production to the Nigerian economy.
Let's produce what we use. Let's use what we will produce. Let's go back to our garments, cutting edges. The statistics shows that it was employing, directly and indirectly, almost 15 to 18 million Nigerians, in that entire value chain. If you can bring back that, even if it's 5 million in the next 1 to 2 years, it will take us, further away.
One of the things that killed the textile industry is policy. Now we are revisiting policies to ensure that we restore it and launch Nigeria to the path of economic recovery.
On his part, Executive Director of ICAC, Eric Tranch-Tenberg, who led the visiting team, said the partnership is a good opportunity for Nigeria and Africa to sustain their textile industries, as well as create more jobs and generate foreign exchange. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has warned those promoting unconstitutional change in government to desist, as the military will not tolerate any act that can truncate the nation's democracy. General Musa gave the warning while addressing newsmen after a brief meeting with service chiefs and heads of security agencies at the defense headquarters in Abuja. He said the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies will not fold their hands and watch the country drift into anarchy, adding that protecting the nation's sovereignty is their constitutional mandate.
We will not sit by and watch the nation slide into anarchy. Accordingly, the troops of the Nigerian Army will continue to work in conjunction with other security agencies in the population space to maintain law and order.
We appeal to our youths, to our mothers, to our fathers, to the generality of Nigerians, to please give peace a chance and allow the government do what is needful. As committed as it has become, the federal government and all the subnationals will do what is very strategic for the nation.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, urged youths across the country to shun the ongoing protest against hardship, noting that the government has put in place interventions that will ameliorate the sufferings of citizens. Service chiefs and heads of security agencies also bared their minds on the need to rejig the security architecture and the nation against internal and external aggressions.
But an offense of treason. I want to use this opportunity to warn our youths to desist from accepting foreign flags from agents of destabilization.
On our part, the Armed Forces of Nigeria, we've been doing all that we need to do to ensure that we provide the enabling environment to support Mr. President and this government in the attainment of this objective of reducing poverty and hardship in this country.
While it is a constitutional right to participate in peaceful protest, it is also an offense and a crime to engage in disorder, violence, and chaos.
The security meeting was convened by the Chief of Defense Staff, and it is coming on the heels of the ongoing nationwide protest against economic hardship, which has been hijacked to unleash mayhem and disrupt public peace. The police have arrested foreign nationals suspected of sponsoring protest with a Russian flag in some parts of the country. The police commissioner, Salman Garba, disclosed this after a security meeting with the Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf. According to him, the police and other security agencies will clamp down on anyone trying to disrupt the security of Kano State. He also announced further relaxation of the curfew from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The End Bad Governance nationwide protest against hardship and anger took a twist on Monday, with protesters in some northern states holding up the Russian flag. Now, here in Lagos, a High Court sitting in Igboshere has extended an earlier order restricting protesters participating in the nationwide demonstration in Lagos to Gani Fawehimi and peace parks in Ojota and Ketu areas of the state. Justice Sherifat Shonaike gave the order following an application by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, seeking to maintain and secure public safety and prevent irreparable loss of lives and property during the period of the protest. Pedro, who was represented by the Director of Civil Litigations, Hamid Oyenuga, told the court that the service of the earlier court order had been served on all the respondents in compliance with the pre-action protocols for preemptive relief sought by the applicants against the representatives of the protesters. He argued that though the respondents in the suit were yet to respond to the application, there is a need to extend the earlier restriction order of the protest to 2 venues so the state can continue to enjoy the relative peace being experienced despite the ongoing protests across the country. In her ruling, Justice Shonaike expressed satisfaction with the applicant's compliance with the orders of Justice Ogundari, and ordered that the restriction of the protest to Freedom and Peace Parks in the Ojota and Ketu areas of the state be extended until full compliance to the orders. And meanwhile, normalcy has returned to Ojota as the End Bad Governance protesters failed to show up for day 6 of the protest following the heavy presence of security personnel at the Gani Fawehimi Freedom Park. Jamiu Shonubi monitored the situation and filed on this report.
The heavy security presence around Gani Fawehimi Freedom Park is part of measures put in place to ensure a non-violence protest in Lagos State as protesters gathering across the country enters day 6. This new development in the End Bad Governance protest follows a meeting between heads of security agencies and President Bola Tinubu to address the recent violence in parts of the country sparked by suspected hoodlums hijacking the protests. Despite the absence of protesters, some individuals have vowed not to back down, stating that the actions of the security personnel is an infringement on their fundamental human rights to peacefully assemble and express their grievances.
Look at the security personnel we are having in Lagos State, Ojota to be precise, Freedom Park. People are scared to come outside, to come and express their rights as a people of Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Nigerian. My name is Atari Olakunle. Now I've been here. Now look at everywhere is silence. People are not coming. People are scared. Look at the security personnel we have around here. In hundreds, now we just have 2 or 3 protesters.
You can still call the people. We come close. I am gonna come. Sorry, there will be no protest. Blah blah blah. This blah blah blah. Give us a good reason. That's the revolution we're talking about. You don't just put on heavy arms. The strong face. I don't know. For who? You are intimidating us. You don't do that. And the poor masses are scared of their life because they don't want to harm themselves. Look at this is Ojota precisely. Can you see people going to their various places of work? They're not even said again, they're frustrated.
Protest is still going on because this protest has been scheduled for 10 days. And we will protest even though we will still stand here and protest till 10 days elapses. And even if the government doesn't answer us for 10 days, we will be here 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, till we get an answer from the government. People should not relent. We need more people to come outside and let it be known that this protest is still going on. Because yesterday, some people have been trying to sabotage this protest. Yesterday and day before yesterday, some hoodlums have been coming to cause violence in this protest. The violence is not caused by the protestants. The protestants have been peaceful. This is the most peaceful protest I've ever been to. Some people have been trying to sabotage this protest to look as if it's violent.
At the Ojota Freedom Park, normalcy has been restored, with residents and traders going about their businesses. Though the call for better governance and respect for human rights remains strong, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has opened up wider channel of communication with stakeholders and the protest leaders.
Now, youths in Ekpe have unanimously denounced any form of violence, saying the destruction of lives and property must never be an option in the agitation for improvement of living conditions of the common man. They say dialogue should be pursued during such agitations. Olumide Ojo has the report.
The youth of Ekpe have again shunned violent protests, just like they did during the EndSARS protest a few years ago. The youths, under the umbrella of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ekpe branch, stress that dialogue should always be thoroughly exhausted before other options are considered in order to avoid the destruction of public and private property and loss of lives.
We have our ways of doing things. We believe in dialogue for us to achieve our aims. As you have seen over the years, you have not seen many youths destruction or anything in Ekpe. It's a result of the fact that we have our structures. We have the way we engage our community. Our traditional rulers, we engage them. The political class, we engage them. And from this, we always have our ways in achieving our thing.
The voice of youth in our community is the same. We have a single voice. And that voice is very simple. It is very straightforward, which is we say no to destruction. We understand the fact that protest is a democratic right of all citizens. And as such, we need to just tell our youth that if you want to protest, make it a peaceful one, make it a constructive one, not a destruction.
Ekpe is a peaceful land, and we want to enjoy our youth to continue to enjoy, to join the local government and the traditional rulers and other stakeholders in the community to ensure we have peace in Ekpe. We can have a protest according to the federal government, but we must have a peaceful protest. We must not vandalize our properties in Ekpe, because Ekpe belongs to our community, to belong to all of us. If we destroy Ekpe today, it will be an history for every one of us tomorrow.
Eagles in Ekpe have been fully received message through our platform and through the structure of Hanez and Igbo, telling all Igbo indigenes that it is not time to go and destroy any government property.
During the interactive sessions, the youths discussed restiveness, carrying the uneducated Ekpe youth along in the scheme of things, and other sundry matters affecting the ancient town of Ekpe.
Part of our agitation to the Ikeja electrics, we need a prepaid meter to our people in Ekpe. If you have prepaid meter, I think we don't have any issues with Ikeja Electric. They can decide not to bring light for a month or 2 months, in as much we are issuing a prepaid meter. These are issues we are engaging them for. And I believe in a couple of weeks, they will come down to Ekpe to discuss with us and to engage us. And we table all our issues with them. And this issue of electricity will be a thing of the past.
Now the next thing is to look for engagements. So, and then we are hoping that those engagements will bring about positive results in our community. It is not of again saying that a lot of businesses in the community has been affected by the issue of electricity. A lot of community nearby has enjoyed power supply. Why is Ekpe different? Is Ekpe not part of Lagos State? We need to ask that question.
Ekpe youth stress that they will always toe the line of dialogue and lobbying in pushing their demands for a better society for all. Olumide Ojo, LTV News.
The Rivers Police Command has warned that the ongoing protest in Rivers State is assuming a frightening dimension. The police said the protesters were engaging in unlawful acts such as extortion, destruction of vehicles, and harassment of business owners. There were fears among residents of some areas in Port Harcourt following warnings by protesters. The protesters had warned residents, motorists, and shop owners to either join the protest or stay indoors. And many shops that opened were seen attaching branches of trees and leaves in their shops and business premises to show solidarity. The police said the lack of clear leadership among the protesters was gradually leading to a breakdown of law and order, and vowed to arrest and prosecute anyone infringing on the rights of others. The Coalition of Northern Groups, CNG Kaduna State Chapter, says those who hijacked the anger protests in Kaduna were enemies of the state and northern Nigeria. In a statement issued by Comrade Sadu Bako, CNG Kaduna State Chapter Coordinator, the coalition said it has been following closely with rapt attention the recent protests in Kaduna State with serious concerns and expressed sadness over the unfortunate hijack of the peaceful protest. The coalition added that people had embarked on the protest to express their concerns and feelings, as was the case in any democratic culture, but the protest was taken over by agents of darkness. The CNG calls on the Kaduna State government to view the incident as a wake-up call to address the difficult living conditions of its residents, which have been propelled by poverty, unemployment, and inequality that translated into hunger that birthed the anger in people. The group also counsels all levels of government to cooperate and develop pragmatic mechanisms that portray transparent and accountable commitment through concrete steps to address the grievances of the people. Now, the Economic Community of West African States Commission has expressed concern over the ongoing protests in Nigeria, lamenting reports of violence, fatalities, and property destruction. Now, though ECOWAS emphasized the right of citizens to peaceful protest as enshrined in the ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance and Nigeria's 1999 Constitution, it, however, sues for caution. ECOWAS urged protesters and other stakeholders to heed the president's call for an inclusive dialogue to address grievances and ensure peace and security in Nigeria and the sub-region. The Commission extends condolences to the families of those who died and expressed sympathy with the Nigerian government and its people for the losses incurred. Now, Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang says the 19 northern governors in Nigeria will begin conversations on the explosive birth rate in the region. He said measures must be put in place to care for the education and welfare of children born in the region. The governor said some of the hoodlums who disrupted the peaceful End Bad Governance protest in the state were external elements from outside the state. He added that the elite in the north failed to take responsibility for the young population in the region, allowing some criminally minded persons to control them and indoctrinate them into insurgency and banditry. The governor said the government will hold parents accountable for out-of-school children, assuring residents of the state that no child will be uneducated by the time he leaves office in 2027. Mutfwang noted that one of the key ways to fight poverty is agriculture and food security, but unfortunately, banditry has been a challenge. He said lands must be reclaimed and put to productive use to ensure food security. Still ahead. INEC releases final figure of voters ahead of Edo and Ondo governorship elections. That's in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the final figure of registered voters in Edo and Ondo states ahead of the September 21 and November 11 governorship elections in the two states. The final figure showed that 2.629 million voters registered to vote in Edo State, while 2.053 million registered to vote in Ondo State. A statement by the National Commissioner, Information and Voter Education, Sam Olumekun, said out of the figures, children constitute 868,764 in Edo and 694,938 in Ondo State. It said a breakdown of the figure local government by local government has been uploaded in the Commission's website, and the Commission will announce the date for collection of permanent voter cards in the next few days. Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Mara, says the diving capacity of the agency will discourage large shipments of cocaine to Nigeria. Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA Headquarters, Abuja, Femi Babafemi, made this known in a statement. In the statement, the NDLEA boss said this on the heels of the recent training and certification of officers of the Marine Command of the agency in basic diving, advanced open water diving, and full face mask diving. Mara, who stated this while receiving the report of the training, said the new capability will send a strong message to international drug cartels that they have no place to hide their illicit consignments on any ship or vessel coming to Nigeria. 8 officers were selected from 4 countries, including 2 from Nigeria, by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes to undergo decertification training in Brazil in 2 phases, first in November 2023 and then July 2024. Mara commended the 2 officers who participated in the training and certification program for their exemplary performance. Motorists have been urged to obey traffic rules to prevent road accidents. Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASTMA, in an advocacy and enlightenment campaign in Ikorodu Division, solicits for cooperation and support for the state's transportation policy agenda. Ikorodu Bureau Chief Adesegun Igop has the report.
With the aim of addressing peculiar traffic challenges and finding probable solutions to traffic gridlock in major junctions across Ikorodu Division, the Traffic Advocacy and Special Traffic Mayor Department of Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, embarked on an advocacy and enlightenment campaign to different motor parks and garages. It is to ensure orderliness and safety.
It is not all the time that we should be, trying to enforce the law or trying to penalize, any motorist. That there is also need for us as advocacy department to come out to engage with these people so that we can know their various challenges, their various problems that they are facing, and also, provide solutions to these problems so that we can have seamless traffic on the road and improve the traffic situation in Lagos State.
From Odonguyo, Sabo, Ikorodu Main Garage, Agric and Ogolonto, commercial bus drivers were enlightened on the negative impact of traffic congestion on human life and the need for regular free flow of traffic.
What is expected that we still need to do is it concerns, the motoring public, the drivers. They need to change their attitude. They need to, voluntarily comply with all these rules and regulations that guides the movement of vehicles on the road. Once that is done, we have seamless traffic and no problem at all.
The commercial drivers commend LASMA for the advocacy. They promise to obey traffic rules and maintain law and order.
The major problem is that there is no park garages in Ikorodu. So we are urging the government to at least, as they are making ways, they are making garages for those BRT. They should at least consider the commercial driver as well, because BRT cannot do it alone. There should be a stakeholders meeting between we and the government. So the government should tell us what we are doing that is bad, and we tell the government what they are doing, that then we rub hands together and solve the solution.
The enlightenment they are giving to us today, I didn't mean that we have been lectured ahead. All the crises that has been happening, it wouldn't have been happened.
The advocacy campaign is designed to engage the minds of the motoring public on the need to be safety conscious and have respect for other road users. Adesegun Igop, LTV News.
Residents of Erefun and Agbowa Ogijo have expressed their frustration over the deplorable state of the roads connecting their communities. In a peaceful protest, the residents called for timely intervention of the government. Again, Ikorodu Bureau Chief Adesegun Igop has the report.
Erefun in Agbowa Ogijo is a boundary area between Lagos and Ogun states with over 123 communities. The residents lament the deplorable state of the Erefun Agbowa Ogijo major link road to Ikorodu Shagamu and Loto Ibadan expressways.
We are using this opportunity to appeal to our governor again to please assist us on the issue of flood that is sending people away from their homes in Ogijo, Agbowa, Molatori area for that matter. So we are calling on the state governor and his administration to please assist us in reducing or resolving these issues.
And this challenge has actually affected us adversely. It has destroyed many homes, it has spoiled lots of properties, and many habitats of this community have had to move from their own hard-earned built houses to rent rooms in the communities nearby.
Our road is very bad, especially when the rain falls. Our children will not be able to go to school. There is a road there. Even though not even children, nobody will be able to come out.
Members of the communities maintain that they have been struggling with the challenge over the years, despite efforts to maintain the roads through contributions and tolls.
For more than 15 years, we've been spending money in making drainages and gutters for those waters to flow. But due to the velocity and the quantity of that water, those gutters cannot contain that kind of water. The water is always getting more and more as years go by. We've made countless contributions by houses, we've made gullies, And in fact, as we are speaking now, we are also working on another project to provide a lasting solution to these menace.
All of us in this street now, it's only me that is still managing. And they are telling me that the rain have not started. By the time the rain comes, where am I going to enter? I'm a widow. I don't have anywhere to run to.
They attribute the erosion gully to a channel gush construction, calling for rescue and government intervention to save their souls and property.
Government to assist us, because this kind of challenge is so enormous that not only the local government can embark on it. It's only the state government that can embark on such a humongous project and achieve it in due time.
I would like to appeal to the state government to please come to our aid.
Follow Bijo, you pass Agboa, you reach Erefo, Awolate go, you go reach Redeem Camp, Tonoto, Naya the road, bus at 4. I beg, make una help us do this road, I beg.
The residents are optimistic that immediate government intervention on the road infrastructure will make life habitable for them. Adeshegun Igor, LTV News.
Now in Nigeria, widowhood comes with a lot of burden and disadvantages. This include maltreatment and discrimination. This report by Ayola Adelese takes a look at the plight of widows and how they can be supported to live meaningful lives. Her report.
For many women around the world, the devastating loss of a partner is magnified by a long-term fight for their basic rights and dignity. Despite the fact that there are more than 258 million widows around the world, widows have historically been left unseen, unsupported, and unmeasured in our societies. Today, as armed conflicts, displacement, and migration leave tens of thousands of women, newly widowed, and many others whose partners are missing or disappeared, the unique experience and needs of widows must be brought to the forefront, with their voice leading the way. Worldwide, women are much less likely to have access to old age pensions than men, so the death of a spouse can lead to destitution for older women. In the context of economic hardship, widows may not have access to bank accounts and pensions to pay for their health care if they too become ill or they have to support themselves and their children.
A lot of cultural challenges face these widows. Nigeria in particular, in certain states in Nigeria, we all know widows are treated very badly. The stigma is still there. The marginalization of widows is still there. The culture, the forcing widows to get married to husbands that are not theirs, forcing the children to forfeit what is their father's. Property rights for the widows is a policy that needs to be enforced in Nigeria.
More than ever, this day is an opportunity for actions towards achieving full rights and recognition of widows. These includes providing them with information on access to a fair share of their inheritance, land and productive resources, pensions and social protection that are not based on marital status alone, decent work and equal pay, education and training opportunities, empowering widows to support themselves and their families, also addressing social stigmas that create exclusion and discriminatory or harmful practices.
Women are women, whether you're widows or you're not widows. What we want is enable environment for women to be able to trade. We have a lot of successful widows that are even doing better than people that are not widows. So all we just want is gender inclusion for women. Whether you're a widow or you're a businesswoman, a woman in Nigeria should benefit from this country, should have access to business and enable environment to trade.
With unfair family laws and just really abhorrent traditional practices that sort of put them in a bad way, there's more that can be done. So I think, yes, there's more concerted effort, and perhaps there are opportunities for private sector to also support government, and of course working with CSOs to do something a bit more structured and a bit more aligned. But
furthermore, governments should take actions to uphold their commitment to ensure the rights of widows as enshrined in international law, including the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Ayola Adelese, LTV News.
Coming up, NNPC launches Utapate crude oil grade into international crude oil market. That's in business news. Stay with us.
On business news tonight, the federal government has revealed plans to sell 50-kilogram bags of rice at a subsidized rate of 40,000 naira to public servants to mitigate the national food crisis. This initiative was detailed in a letter from the Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, signed by the Director of Human Resources, Jayesimi Abimbola. The letter states that interested staff members must complete a Google form on the OHCSF website and submit it to the Director of Human Resources for endorsement. Payment and distribution will be managed by designated officers, with the chairman of the Joint Union Council of the Ministry overseeing the process for transparency. Each staff member is entitled to purchase one bag, though multiple staff members can jointly pay for and share a bag. The circular urges department and unit heads to inform their staff of the initiative. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, explains that the government has established centers nationwide where Nigerians can buy 50-kilogram bags of rice for 40,000 naira. This initiative is part of the Tinubu administration's effort to improve the living conditions for citizens. The NNPC Limited has announced the introduction of the Utapate crude oil blend, a new crude oil grade into the international crude oil market. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of NNPC Limited, Olufemi Shoneye, says the new oil grade is from the oil mining lease OML 13, fully operated by NEPL, NNPC Limited's upstream subsidiary. Located offshore Akwa Ibom State in Nigeria, Utapate's current crude oil production is at 28,000 barrels per day, with the potential to increase to 50,000 barrels per day. The sulfur content of the new crude is 0.06655%, with low carbon footprint due to flare gas elimination, fitting perfectly into the required spec of major buyers in Europe. The Utapate crude oil blend commenced operations in July 2024 when the Spanish oil giant Repsol won the tender for the initial cargo of 950,000 barrels of the new crude blend, which is comparable to the much sought-after Amenam crude. Gulf Transport and Trading, another leading crude oil dealer, have also secured the cargo tenders for August and September 2024. The Naira appreciated at the official market, trading at 1,607 Naira 15 kobo to the dollar. Data from the official trading platform of the FMDQ Exchange, a platform that oversees the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, showed that the Naira gained 9 Naira 93 kobo. This represents a 0.61% gain. Meanwhile, at the investors and exporters window, the Naira traded between 1,620 Naira 50 kobo and 1,570 Naira. We now leave you with tradings on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.